This right back, Charlie's definitely.
There's always just that active red line defending. I think it's like.
Am I live? Of course I'm live. One love to everybody tuned in either on Twitch or YouTube, especially the Twitch gang, because I've just come off live on Twitch. Make sure you're following me on Twitch. On YouTube is pinned in the pinned message. I'll drop a link. Obviously, shameless plug o'clock, but do not forget, after this live stream, people, I'm going to be live at 5:10. We're going to watch we're going to watch both Europa League games, really. You've got Barcelona at 8 p.m. Before that, you've got Atalanta Leipzig, I believe. So we're going to be doing a watch along for that. That's only going to be on Twitch. So yeah, hit the like button, make sure you're there, all of those sort of good things, man. All right, S, if only everyone was like you, the world would be easier. Now, there isn't too much to discuss in the way of Arsenal, but nonetheless, we're here day in, day out. Let's find something. See morning, top of the morning to you lot. As usual, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and in some cases, good night. It's Thursday. Hope everybody is making progress in their goals, hopes, dreams, aspirations, ambitions, private and personal life. None of that is irrelevant. And to be honest, on your deathbed, it means fuck all. So, health is wealth, innit? So I hope you lot remain physically healthy. You and your loved ones continue to better health on that. So yeah, one love to you lot. Appreciative to all the support. If I haven't personally said thank you, obviously, thank you very much for the birthday messages yesterday and just in general. Thank you very much for the support you lot give my platforms in general, man. So yeah, without you lot, it's dead. Obviously, yesterday as well, we kind of went over GRANIT Xhaka. We looked at the Xhaka business. We looked at, he kind of gave his player tribute. And I don't know why I put that in the title, because we know Xhaka and Arsenal fans, or some Arsenal fans, they'll never be happy with him. And what I mean by that is purely from a sporting level, he'll never be anyone's cup of tea. He's not, he's not necessarily my cup of tea. Not that he's a bad player. It's just, you give mixed results. The midfield is kind of built around you, and I don't feel that's the strongest foundations. You always hear me say it. I don't think he's as terrible as some of his haters make out. I don't think he's as good as Xhaka Sexual's behavior. I think if you've got to show me fancy diagrams and scribbles to convince me a guy's a 30 midfielder for this club, is dead. On one hand, he can't be rubbish, because every manager during his time here has made him a key player. But to play devil's advocate, you could probably say that was a key part to their failings. And at 29, contracted until 2023, I personally would like Arsenal to move away from Xhaka, in the sense of, a bit like with Aubameyang's form and ultimately his alleged behavior. We knew we needed to sign a striker anyways. Things would just accelerate because he wouldn't behave himself, allegedly. I hate the fact that at Arsenal, it's like, you might know the weather forecast is going to rain in a couple of days, but you have not bought yourself a coat, an umbrella, or anything. It's like, we'll wait till a couple of days, stand in the pouring rain, clothes are drenched, and we're like, oh shit, maybe we should have bought a waterproof jacket and some wellies. I don't like how we don't fix problems before they come problems. You look at Liverpool. I don't know if the guys they brought in can do what Salah was doing, but they're kind of moving on from things. Van Dijk's a player for the present. You've got Konate and people that could grow. They've brought in Diaz, Jota's there. Again, whether they can do that is another degree, but they're fixing problems before they become problems. And I just feel the midfield's an issue, to the point where we don't click without Xhaka. Xhaka and Partey, I don't think it's a good enough pivot. Again, in terms of fitness and durability, when they're together, it's our strongest pivot. But how long have they been together? And you've committed 45 million on Partey. He has to take some responsibility, but it's only now he's looking like that athletic old man. And I just feel you've got Odegaard, you've got Partey. They're not going to go to the next level until we get that number 8. We're not going to learn to break down low blocks or dictate the tempos of a game without a number 8. And I go back to last summer, it's the point where Xhaka don't pick himself. If you're considering you as a midfielder, Arteta, if you're building your foundations around this, then fair play. I can only judge. I have to stop judging him. I have to judge it on what you're doing. And last season, there was a lot of talk around rebuild. Last summer, about rebuild. And it's true. But if you go back to my streams in the summer, I was saying the thing that I was most excited about was Locatelli, purely because, or Xhaka leaving, in fact. and maybe getting Locatelli, because Xhaka leaving forces Arteta to what I think needs to be done and revamp our midfield. If I'm completely honest with you, you know, we haven't got players that can really do what we need in the number 8 position. We don't really have sixes, so yeah, we're kind of at where we're at with Granit Xhaka, and you know, I do think he's, you know, I like his spirit. He's highly valued. I like all of that stuff. I just feel beyond being a squad player, you can't really offer us much what we're trying to do, or what we'd like to aspire to do. And as I said, I don't think Granit Xhaka is going to change too many opinions. And what I mean by that is a lot of people, you know, you're allowed to think Xhaka isn't good enough. You're allowed to think he is good enough. It's just as long as you don't, you know, you consider the other side of the logic. I don't think but what there is, there's scapegoat ism. You know, he's in that territory where good, bad, he's going to get blamed for a lot. And I don't feel that's right for anybody in life. If you do well, you do bad, you should be judged appropriately. People have made their beds with Xhaka, and they're not, you know, it is what it is. So I don't think he, you know, I'd love to know if he'll change you lot's opinions, but I can't see Xhaka changing my opinion. I don't think the worst of him. You're not the guy. You're out. You always hear me say hot and cold. You know, you and cold. There's gonna be 4 or 5 games. I'm like, boy, where was this guy? You know, the next 4 or 5, I'm like, oof, well, this is what we're talking about. Yeah, man, he's dead, man. To be honest, I said it yesterday. I don't think I think Xhaka was not right in what he did, but he wasn't wrong. Fans are chatting shit. He's chatting shit back. Just because you're paying a ticket, don't mean you can abuse him, man. Obviously, Xhaka should keep it composed. I didn't like how he dashed the shirt. You know, I don't condone that. But just in terms of the fans giving verbal and he responding, everyone's got a breaking point. And clearly, Xhaka's an emotional guy. He's someone, you know, a bit like Aubameyang. They're two sorts of emotions. Xhaka, like, you can tell, like, rage, passion, these things are the primary drivers of him as a player, really and truly. And that transpires. He wears his heart on his sleeve, you know. I do think Xhaka has integrity. You know, I've never had to doubt if he wanted to do this thing, man. It is what it is. I don't mind that, man. I don't mind that. Is that what your mum's got a fetish for? Well, I'll be whatever your mum wants me to be. Shout out Cleveland Brown and Big Shaq, man. You know, it is what it is, man. I appreciate that, my dude, man. You know, what can I say? Your mom's got a weird ass fetish, but I'll be anything, man. If she wants me to be Superman Dingo, I'll do that for her as well. Anyways, away from that, as I was saying about Granit Xhaka, like, he's not a terrible player, but yeah, man, it is what it is. Xhaka is a decent player, but not the linchpin of a midfield. He's a good option to have, but shouldn't be a certified starter. Act appreciative to you because you have articulated that in an amazing way. He might not be wrong, man, but like I said, if his mum likes that, it's calm, man. It is what it is. Everyone's free to their opinions. There's a polite response to Xhaka. You're not sorry. Here's a polite response to Xhaka. You're not good enough. You're too impulsive in the challenge and not fast enough to cope with the pace of the Premier League. No, you are not shit, just not suited. To be fair to Xhaka, though, I do feel one thing that goes against him is he will not, and I don't have any statistics to bring up to hand and things like that, but I do think one thing that goes against him is he won't get booked for 6 games. He gets booked for the 7th, and then it's that. There is a reputation, and that's where, for me as Arsenal, maybe we need. I don't think it's right. You know, we all, you know, it's getting to the point where Arsenal fans are doing my head in. Every, you know, Fabinho the other day, arguably Thiago, we all do it. You know, even non-Arsenal fans are doing it. If it was Granit Xhaka, and it's right, you know, if it was Granit Xhaka, a lot would happen. You know, I don't like how referees, we act like they don't suffer degrees of bias and things like that because they're human beings. But at the same time, at what point, yes, it's injustice, but what point do we have to be cruel to ourselves? If we know Xhaka's got this reputation, allegedly, and I don't think it's right, but if we know Xhaka's got this reputation, could it be worth moving him on? Someone that doesn't have that. And I know that's nothing that's gonna help Arsenal, but maybe someone that's free from that will get more leniency. Because I'm not gonna lie, I would say we've kind of been down this route, this route and this road with Granit Xhaka before, and it's quite jarring, man. Xhaka hasn't been bad this season, but not what we need to take us to the next level. No agendas here. Brazy. Fabian Ruiz isn't fast. It's not about being fast. And I don't know who mentioned Xhaka's pace. It's not about fast. In my opinion, it's not about pace. if you're good on the ball and you're aware of your surroundings to a certain level, you can buy yourself. With Xabi Alonso weren't necessarily the quickest. Santi's quicker than Xhaka, but he wasn't blisteringly quick. Even when David Silva was getting on a bit, he's not blisteringly quick. Different player. Milner is obviously not slow, but his legs are getting heavier as he gets older. He's not quick. I just think Arsenal have a terrible cocktail in that we've got players who are not suited to passing the ball forward. As you see, we over-rely on our centre-backs. We play through wide areas. We don't have a striker. You can see how these things, but when they were working, they weren't issues, but how they're coming to play. And that's specifically the 8. We've got players who can't pass, and then you've got Xhaka who, if things can be done in 5 touches, he's going to do them in 10. Where other midfielders, if it can be done in 3 touches, they're going to try to do it in 2 or 1 according to ability. I think that's the problem with Xhaka. You know, it should be a squad player, nothing else, man. And I do think Arteta has made Xhaka all-rounded. I do think Xhaka's problems are still there. However, I do think you don't really see them. You still see him caught up the field, but them glaringly obvious Xhaka mistakes, they've kind of been winded down a bit, if I'm completely honest with you. But yeah, I don't think Granit Xhaka will never change. He'll never change, nor will he change opinions. And I would say for Xhaka, you've just got to accept it. Some men are not going to like you because they're not going to like you. Some people are going to love you. Some people are going to hate you. You know, it is what it is. It's like life, man. You know, some people just don't like you because you're you, really and truly. So I think, you know, what he would have to say is that when I say most in these things, I would say most Arsenal fans or most football fans can have their opinion on a player, but can change it, or you know, or whatever. In it, I think most people, even if they don't like you, they will sit there and say you've had a good game. You know, you're gonna have your Xhaka apologist who is quite unhealthy, and you're gonna have them guys that, well, you could say the sky's blue, and guys are gonna tell you no, it's not, it's turquoise. You're just gonna have to accept that. You're not gonna change everyone's opinion. What I would say for Granit, as much as it's about the fans and stuff, for all the players, you know, the only opinion that matters, rightly or wrongly, generally is Mikel Arteta's. That's the guy who's picking you. You know, the world is saying they wouldn't play Xhaka, and maybe they're right, but he's the one picking you. He's your gaffer. As long as you've got faith in him, and he's got faith in you and the whole collective, then that's half the job done. You're never gonna be loved. You're just gonna have to accept it, really, because half of these players, you know, good or bad at Arsenal, if the fans' projection was right, then they might not be here. You know. Could you imagine in today's day and age, Thierry Henry getting bought from Juventus, not scoring in 11 games? What would in his first 11? What would have been said? It doesn't make sense. He plays better for his country. Xhaka is a physical daily blind, just wasn't good enough to cover his physical deficiencies. I think I got that already. So yeah, that's Granit, man. That's absolutely Granit, man. Hope you had a good birthday. I did, man. I got to spend it with you lot, you know. Spend it with loved ones. It was amazing, man. It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, appreciative to you lot for always supporting the thing. Make sure you're subscribed across Twitch and YouTube, people, especially Twitch, because that show is not over, people. So happy to hear more offside. Morata ain't coming to these shores. He's shit. Boy, I must say, Jada Pinkazette is a Hall of Fame slander name. I respect Xhaka's honesty. To be fair, he has been better than Partey in the entirety of the season. Partey has just come into life since Feb. They weren't saying that around North London derby times. They weren't saying that Burnley away. But there has been times this season Xhaka hasn't played. Fans have said, oh, maybe we don't need Xhaka. Xhaka's played. Oh, well, you see what he is now. It all depends. I'm just screaming new number 8, man. It's long, bro. Appreciate that, my guy. Come on. Appreciate you lot tuned in. Xhaka is good, but not as a starting player. I don't mind a player with his attitude in the dressing room. Plus, it would be petty not to still hold a grudge from Crystal Palace game 3 years ago. For me, he's just not specialized. Not good enough to be a proper defensive mid. Not creative enough to be a number 8. He can't do the Henderson leadership thing either now. His attitude isn't good for me. But it's a bit harsh to say his attitude isn't good. But his attitude isn't good for me. But is for some time to move. But is for some, time to move on if we want to improve. Facts. We got to be cruel to be kind, man. We need to be cruel to be kind, man. Wrong, man. Talking about Pereira. You lot still gassing Pereira? At what point would you sack Arteta, bro? Not finishing top 6 next season. I mean, next season is boy. Yeah, you're right, boy. Like, if you don't get top 4, you have to go. I'll be real. Like, unless you do a Mazza, like, you know, if you don't get top 4, if you get top 4, if you don't get top 4 in Europa League, you gotta go, isn't it? Like, it's what should have had to happen to Emre, isn't it? Like, you've been given a lot of luxuries. There's been a lot of money. There's been a lot of things you've done good. There's been a lot of things you should have done better. But it's a results driven business. Yes, the squad is still going to be young next season, but yeah, you know, we've got a good platform now. Can Arteta show he's the guy to lead it long term, and it's a bit tricky when you look at who would probably come in and the dynamics of it. But yeah, Emre got clipped for less, bro. So yeah, man, the gloves are off next season. Arguably, if you fail to get top 4 this season, I wouldn't say it's a sackable offense, but I could understand it really, man. I wouldn't say Darwin Núñez is out of our league, but it's like we're behind, man. It was great, man. Vibes can't done. Not gonna lie, I would rather win Europa League if we get in next next season rather than top 4. Aye, man, both. For me, both. There's 38 Premier League games and a cup run. You know, we've got to the final, but I think it clouds results. Like, even to us British fans, big up Una Emre's team. Emre's team is 30. You know, Europa League specialist. You know, doing what he's doing in the champs. But where did Villarreal finish last season? 7th. You know, despite that Europa League win, you know, fans wouldn't have had that. He probably would have got clipped before he made the final, or we would have been going into the final with some negativity. You know, earlier on in the season when Arsenal were doing bad and Villarreal were flying, you knew, all of you lot on Twitter, I know there was a time we knew what Emre's Villarreal was doing. Then the script kind of flipped. They're 7th now. I'm taking trophies. I think Emre was done a bit dirty, but yeah, man, you know, you look at his time at Villarreal, Sevilla, you know, in terms of league positions, we'll be going further and further away. You know, not to praise Arteta because you're messing about as well. Really, you've clawed back this season, but it's a results-driven business, man. Damsgaard, he's all right. Arthur is the best replacement for Xhaka. Bring Arthur Melo, man. Bro, you should be respecting Emre already. Like, should be respecting Emre, but I don't like the beer goggles and the rose tints, man. Yes, my G, respect you. Some of the strongest content out there. I appreciate that. I don't know about any of that, man, but maybe one day, man, we keep grinding, we keep striving. Big up the Twitch ones, big up the YouTube folks as well, people. And without you, Lord, be dead, innit? Really. So yeah, man, it is what it is. Emre 30, but he just weren't the guy. Like, you weren't the guy. Arteta may or may not be the guy. You know, for me, it's how quickly Arteta learns from his mistakes, and I don't think he is. Like, again, I've got no allegiances to Arteta. Same, I respect what he's doing, but I care about my club more. You know, I think personally, even though your Champions League wasn't the goal, and if you get top 6, that's probably fair enough. But considering the capitulation, which at times Arteta has done that, I think we should hold off on the new deal, because I would say for me, not negatives with Arteta. I feel sometimes, you know, it's like sometimes I don't get the vibe you're a football manager, because you say things and it's like, bro, if I'm a chef and I cut my finger, I can't complain. You know, you talk about where we've had injuries. That is something that's going to happen. So I would say squad depth. I would say more so last season, I would say, and a bit to this season, you know, handling players medically, because I felt we was turning a corner and now we're still playing people with injuries and all of these sort of things. I would say for me, it feels like Mikel Arteta struggles to, you know, I don't know the word, but like he struggles with multiple competitions, if that makes sense, which we've seen. Sometimes I feel his loyalty to players could cost him. Like, again, if you don't improve that midfield, it's a myth. Or if this is the vision you're building for our build-up play, etc., excluding the striker, then I have to judge you on that accordingly. So there's a lot of question mark. I do like Mikel Arteta. I do like what he's got, but no man is without faults, and he's still learning. There's a lot of things he don't know he's not learning. Like, I don't want to just sit here and just let him learn everything, and then, you know, we haven't done anything, because he'll just say, you know what, thank you, we're gone, I'm gone. So there are a lot of good things, man. Controversial, but I would snap Wenger up as a manager. Nah, man, big up Father Wenger, but he needs to stay away, man. This coming summer is pivotal for me. Let's see what Arteta and Eddie can cook up. Yep, because if you don't get a number 8 and a striker, you might as well forget next season, because you're not going to do nothing serious, you know. You don't get 8, you don't get a striker, you don't get a number of these players off the wage bill, you know. The 2023 contracts is crazy. Arteta's not going to come back and be a coach. He's a manager in his own right now, man. It took Klopp nearly 5 years to get Liverpool where they are. It's a process, but this is the right one. Of course, it's a process, but you know, Klopp came into it. I'm not being funny. You know, I hear you and you're right. But one, Liverpool sung from the same hymn sheet. They had people above with Michael Edwards and that could help him. And also, you know, Klopp had significant experience. He was done his thing at Mainz, forgive me. He done his thing at Dortmund. So he didn't just, Arteta is literally learning on the job. No matter how much you follow Pep Guardiola around, it's very much different when you're at the helm, you know, and especially for someone that is very inexperienced, he's been given a lot. There's things you don't know that you don't know. There's things that are probably overwhelming. There's like the players have made mistakes. Arteta's made mistakes as well. So I feel you could compare what Liverpool have done to what we should, but we can't sit here and talk about Klopp and things like this. Klopp came with a serious CV, not even a CV. He's had some practicalities. He got his feet wet. He had a foundation. This is Arteta's foundation. Arteta came here learning, got the first half a season. Cool. No one's gonna get onto him. You know, you've taken over, innit? Last season, he's still got to hide behind. It's not his players, etc. Finishing 8th. Don't get it twisted. For someone with no experience, I feel Arteta's taken a massive leap. This is why I'm big on those above him, because do we want Arteta to be a good manager, or do you want him to be a good manager here? I've got no doubt Arteta is going to be a good manager in the game. He's a young man. He's just turned 40. He's jumped in at the deep end. He could have coached at City for time, could have maybe gone somewhere else. He's had to deal with COVID, with players misbehaving, with contracts, with bare overwhelming things. He's jumped in at the deep end, which is going to help him, you know. But at the same time, we've got to remember this. He could have also been sacked like Emery for less on them losing runs. So it's been beneficial. So all I care about is those above him, because when I see Arteta in the semi-finals play the false 9 for no reason, when I see what he's done against Brighton, regardless of injuries, it's things like that. But yeah, man, talk like Klopp is a dickhead. Respectfully, like, I hear you, because I actually think Liverpool's a healthier example for Arsenal than City. As much as I'd like us to do City and there's parallels, I think, you know, Liverpool only now in the last 2 years or so have they been able to get depth. They typically keep, you know, able to compete in multiple competitions, keep everybody fit, keep everybody's fitness levels good. And Klopp technically has a tiny squad. I think there's a lot of parallels where what Liverpool have done and what we need to do as well. You know, Arteta's got a lot of propaganda behind him. As much as I like him, he's never did it. You met someone mention Klopp. Klopp's did it. You know, Klopp's did it. Klopp done the managing thing. You know, Arteta has nothing. Yeah, he coached some under 16s here and there, and he worked with Sterling and things, but it's very different. When your job is just to work with young players, it's very different. When you've got to improve players, think of a collective team, you know, players that are not involved, talk to them. You got to do everything, you know, really. It's very different. Very different. I big up Joey in the cup. Come on. But yeah, the Klopp thing is crazy, man. The process about Arteta learning to become a manager in the Premier League. And it is. And this is why, for me, as I keep saying, do we want Arteta to ultimately be a good manager here? Or what I would do, be like, all right, cool, Arsenal, I've won an FA Cup, I've done this, I've done that. Hey, I might just go back to City. You know, there's peace to spend. Because I know in January, whether it's my fault or not, I'll be able to go and get a striker. Because he does that Pep thing about him, you know, is that he makes mistakes and just it is what it is. You can't really do that at Arsenal, you know. Again, so there's a lot of things that MIKEL Arteta could do. I like what he's doing, but this is why I'm not on this Arteta in or out stuff. I like what you're doing. There's been times you could have got the sack. If you were to leave, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to lead with pitchforks. Again, only time will tell if you're ultimately the guy to be the gaffer. And I would just like to see, like I've been talking about, the obvious mistakes. I just feel the main thing, you know, you need to. And I'd say your man management's improved, but I still want to learn. But I'd say the main thing you need to, if you do not sign a midfielder that is better than what we have in terms of an 8, then I can't lie. I just like last season, I've not got no faith. One thing I don't like Arteta does, it's like he does this woe is me thing. It's like he does things and then acts surprised, like, you know, like he's like, oh, we've had to deal with COVID and injuries. Everyone's had to deal with that. And then that was last season. Even the other day, they asked him, oh, do you feel January was a mistake then? He was like, but he didn't ask me this in the weeks before. Of course they're not. Nobody's injured then. We knew we was naively betting on a lot. We was betting on the young strikers to keep scoring. We was betting on our goal scorers in the team this season to keep scoring. Or we're going to, people, like I said, I'm not going to put up with what Lacazette's doing. We was betting on everybody to stay fit. And as an Arsenal fan or as an Arsenal man in MIKEL Arteta, we need to be in a positive way more pessimistic. We need to be over prepared. We need to assume, especially us. We dodged the injury thing in November are quite decent, but we know there's going to be a calamity, and we know the more you rely on certain players, Tomiyasu, Partey, Tierney, you run the risk of running them into the red zone, really and truly. So there's a lot to learn. And then you've got Edu as well, who's, for me, I'm not going to lie, if it was up to me, it's not that Edu's done anything, pardon me, right or wrong. If I could clip him tomorrow, I would, just because I feel Arsenal needs someone experienced in that role. Like you lot said, next, I hope Edu can prove me wrong, but outgoings, you know, you didn't do nothing for me in January. You've just torn up contracts, and the most you've really done is pay Partey's release clause. Yeah, we did a good summer, and I give you your credit for that, but I don't think it was your talent ID. It was Arteta's, and we got new contract dons, and they helped us. I just feel an experienced guy can pull a rabbit out the hat. Look at that guy over there at Spurs. He got a couple players in for them. Look at what they're doing. You know, it's a results-driven business as well. You know, I love my football club. I don't really care about the players or as much as I love certain players, and as much as I have admiration for Arteta, I care about my club more. I'm going to be there way after you, you know. And Arteta is very young in this managerial game, so it's very unlikely he's going to spend a significant period at Arsenal, really. So this is why we need to be on to him, because do we want Arteta to be a good manager here and go off and do his thing, or do we want him to just learn and then keep it moving? I don't know. Hit the like button if you haven't already, people. MIKEL Arteta thoughts. There's a lot to like about him, but at the same time, just like with Lokonga, Tavares, the other young players, you're going to do stupid things and make mistakes. And I know you're sitting there and telling them what they can learn from. But who is asking Arteta, not to try to catch him out or anything, who is genuinely above him asking, you know, anyone in any walk of job, you have, I don't know if you're not in England, I don't know what it's called, but you have like progress meetings, you know, probation periods, you know, your manager will sit you down and say, oh, how do you think this is going? What if you're doing good? What you're doing bad? Who is sitting there every now and again with MIKEL Arteta and saying, oh, why did you play false nine in the semi-finals Europa League? Against Brighton, why did you play that? Okay, that's why you played that. Do you think that was right? Considering the injuries, considering the need to fight back and all these things, just asking a man positive questions, because it doesn't feel like there's that healthy sort of pressure that could just, for me, if Arteta had that a little bit healthy external pressure, I think we get a bit better, because I don't think he does certain things because you know that, boy, someone's looking at man and stuff. You know, you maybe don't rub out Aubameyang to the way you did and other things going on and whatnot. I don't know. So, yeah, that's the MIKEL Arteta thoughts. GRANIT, Xhaka, MIKEL Arteta. Big up you lot, man. I hear you. He's a brave man, but this is Arsenal. You can't come to a big team and be on some learning team. But then you're contradicting yourself, because you're saying it's a process then. Like, he has to learn. I hear you, you know, but then where Arsenal are crippled is the same thing I'm saying with Arteta, is that those above him, like experienced manager, Carlo, Luis Enrique, two men that were linked with us, they were on it. And then it came down to the budget. That man said, fuck that. Like, I'm not an Arsenal. I would love to manage your club, but there's no peas here. The club's a mess. And then the fans are going to be looking at me as a joke, man. And you lot are not here, innit? So, yeah, they might scream Kroenke out here and there, but it's me who's going to get the, you know, the fan of the flames and all of that. So that's why they said, no, let's be honest, for Arteta, it was of mutual interest. You're joining a big club that you're underqualified for. You're taking a big step in management. And obviously, yeah, man, well, it's Arsenal, innit? I'm sure there's something in it that he wants to do. Man are basically playing Football Manager, man. Honestly, we need to do better on scouting, bringing players, but depending where we are, depends if the top four, the areas we need addressing in the depth. Crazy, man. To be honest, I hear you. I would say the tiers in the players you could go for is affected, but regardless of if we're in no Europe, Champions League or Europa League, 9 and 8. If there's no 8 or number 9, then for me, I'm giving up on next season. I'll be real. I would say, listen, strikers win games and stuff. But for me personally, if you don't bring me a midfielder, then I don't care for next season, because I know a lot of you have been listening to me for a number of years. All I talk about at Arsenal is midfield. It's crazy, man. Sometimes I get the feeling like the fans have forgotten that this manager has been here for 3 years now, 2.5, and it's not exactly the second year done. We shouldn't gamble on a process building our club with a rookie manager. To be fair, he's doing all right, but that's what I mean. Like, if All right, cool. Arteta's pulling us along. You're doing your process. But if it looks like he's moving iffy, what else have we got? Share people. Interesting comments. You're going too fast for man. Having a top manager is the difference between us, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, a lot of other things, but I get you. We got a top manager with the players we have. I think something really good happened. I do think, as much as I praise Arteta, I do think a more experienced manager could potentially get more out of these players, but it's like trying to draw blood from a stone. You know, if we got Thomas Tuchel, bro, his back three is going to be collapsed with some of these players. City, Pep would lose the little hair he's got on his head trying to make these guys play out, you know, play predative passes. The pressing thing from Liverpool is not going to, you know, these players will drop like flies. So I hear you, but it's more than the manager, man. For me, I kind of, why we kept Laka over Aubameyang makes me mad. Oba was the best goal scorer we had, and we got him out. Poor decision. I mean, we all understood why he was gone, but it's the knock-on effect. All right, cool. You want to rub out Aubameyang because of misbehaving? All right. Don't let us have the conversation about can't you not find resolution around it because he scores goals. Make sure there is a striker or we continue to score goals so there's no conversation. In fact, there is. So again, you only do things like that at that time, in my humble opinion, when you know kind of regardless of what's going to happen this season, you will have a job. Because other managers, you know, Lukaku, Thomas Tuchel's playing it very diplomatic there with Lukaku. You clearly don't have time for the man, and it's different factors. You get the point. I don't know. Didn't you go winch more? My name's July. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Did I? There's only 10 quality players in the squad. We need at least 8 more. Quality subjective. It's crazy, man. Don't think Telemans is much of an improvement on Xhaka. He is, but he's not. I think people look at Telemans with rose tints. Quite shit defensively, quite cumbersome, quite naive in midfield, quite one-paced. You know, lovely passing range and things like that. Loses the ball in dumb areas. I'm just saying a lot of things that Xhaka's killed for. You know, you can't sit there and praise my man for, but you're right on that. You're fully right on that. Make sure to hit the like button, people. If you haven't. Oh, YouTube, what are you saying here? All right. Morata rejects Summer Me. Somehow that's violating YouTube terms. How's that an offensive title? Let's quickly just change that up. Gabriel, let's just say Gabriel. Oh, responds to. Is that gonna work? Is that gonna fly? That was weird as fuck. Sorry, folks. YouTube telling me offensive. I don't know. That was weird as hell, but offensive in that. Crazy, man. DG, you've spoken facts. It's not all about the coach. The players are lowering our standards. Look at Laka and Eddie and Xhaka rubbish. But then again, I hear you. These guys are meaty, but that stuff isn't really. The players are meaty. That they're meaty. As you know, the players have let us down, but that's not gonna fly anymore. You know, that might have flew when Arteta walked into the squad. But this every player, whether he's brought them in or not, that part of that 22-man squad, as he says, they're there because MIKEL Arteta wants them there. You know, he kept saying, "I want to keep Eddie. I want to keep Eddie. I want to keep Eddie." You know, you wanted to use Lacazette. He gave himself the reality where Lacazette is the only real number 9 you can use if you're not throwing Martinelli up there. He has bet on Xhaka. When he walked into this club, as we said yesterday, Xhaka even said himself, my suitcases were packed. You said, no, I want you to stay. This is his squad. These are the players you've bet on. So I can't just sit here. As much as I get onto the players, and sometimes it's we win, lose, or draw together. Sometimes it's more of a case of the tactics or more of a case of the players not showing up. But fundamentally, this is everything, you know. So that's not really gonna fly anymore, really and truly. I can't lie to you. Like I said, there was clearly a rebuild last summer. You know, you revamped this, you know, how as much as I sit here and I keep saying the spine of the squad, you know, it might have with Ramsdale, with Ben White coming to partner Gabriel, Tomiyasu coming to complete the defense when Tierney's fit, you know, Odegaard confirmed permanently, signings to help complement the squad. You didn't move in midfield. You didn't sign a midfielder. So I don't know about that. That's his squad now, bro. That's his squad. Like this, that's his squad. You know, you don't. And one thing I think I don't like about Arteta, I think he gets praised for righting his own wrongs. Which on one hand you should, but on the other hand, you don't get praised for finally rubbing out Willian. And I've never met a manager who, you know, tears up Aubameyang's deal and is praised. It shouldn't be praised. It shouldn't be condemned. It just is what it is. And then there's the knock-on effect. Really, you know, why did you give him a new deal then? And that Aubameyang thing. Like with the Ozil one, I'm looking at that one very carefully because it's easy when Aubameyang's not scoring to take a man out. It's easy when Ozil, many fans want him out. And I'm not saying that's the case. But what if it's Martin Odegaard? What if it's Saka one day? What if it's Ramsdale in form? Very different games have to be played. Do you get it? Very different games have to be played. So, yeah, man, it is where it is. Big up Arsene Wenger for staying in shape. The Williams signing was atrocious. Nah, fuck this Ceballos thing, man. He could have also wanted those players to stay for the short term so he could fix positions he felt were more necessary. Can't get rid of 11 and replace 11 in one window. But he hasn't done any of that, really. And like someone said, he's had 2-3 summers now. You know, that's your squad. You know, you was allowed last January we did a Maznik. Well, this January before we did a Madness. That's your squad, bro. Like we all know you can't replace 11 and bring in 11, despite the fact of last summer we did a That's your squad. Everyone who is at that club or not at that club now is there. You're not, you know, Pepe is not your signing. You're not playing Pepe because you don't want to play. You know, you wanted to get rid of Aubameyang. You tried to give Mustafi a new deal and things. Like, again, this is where I feel there's not a lot of balance. We can't do this. Well, we can't just condemn Arteta because you're right. You have to use what you need. But on the other hand, this is his squad. It's not like he's rocked up yesterday. This is your squad. This is your squad. Certain people, we tried to get them moved on in January and it never happened. I mean, in last summer, and you look at Eddie, it didn't happen with Palace. But why are we waiting until the last pivotal summer to try and get him to tie down a new deal and things? That's where I'm looking at Eddie to get things done. You can't do that. There's no woe is me. And to a degree, you know, even if he did any of that, you know, as much as I feel sorry for him, no one put a gun to your head to take this job, you know. No one put a gun to your head. No one put a gun to your head. So you're gonna have to pull it out. You're gonna have to, like this. It only goes so far for me. That stuff, all of that stuff there, it only goes so far. That's your squad, bro. Really. Appreciate the belated messages, Marcel. Come on, I know you're on cloud 9 after confirming the thing. Yay, just join DG on Twitch. Big up yourself. Good Xhaka, good player, not good for Arsenal. I hear that. Say what you want about Ceballos, but he's more ready than Sambi. I hear it. You're not wrong. Almost everyone in that squad, bar a couple, were offered new deals or signed. So this is squad, bro. You've bet on these man. Some man need to pull their pants up and they've been pretenders. Even that man can't sit here and say Lacazette this and that, because earlier on the season, man, we're gassing up Xhaka's team. Man, we're gassing up Lacazette's team. Even Dons were gassing up Tavares, he best left back at the club. Them same Dons are getting scared now. Tini's injured because you got to rely on Tavares. Hot take kings, Arsenal fans at times, man. Rob, I haven't heard about that player, but if your mother has, then please let me know. She looks like she knows more about that. Please don't try and catch me slipping like that. And on behalf of every sane person that's enjoying this conversation, suck your mom. Anyways, away from that, and I mean that. In fact, tell your mom to suck her mom and go all the way back down your family line. Like, hey, you know, back in blood, man. Anyways, you gotta respect guys for trying, man. You got a couple Twitch weirdos, couple YouTube weirdos. It is what it is, man. What can I say? Young, black, and fly, man. Baby mothers out there, please. You know where it is, man. You know, if you're out there doing the trolling thing, you know, I know you can hear your mom go next door. Come on, man. Shit, certain man's mum ucking the maintenance guy. It's brazy, bro. It's brazy. Certain people's mum ucking the debt collectors. Brazy. I hear it. Do what you gotta do, but don't waste your mother's internet. Try and invest in some Bitcoin and that, man. But anyways, away from that. things are clearly not that simple as this player needs to go. But I mean, at what point? I mean, I don't personally know what you're referring to, but I personally think Arsenal are now in a position where it's literally that simple. You need to bring in a number 8. You need to bring in a striker. You probably need to bring in 2 of those. Simple as that. Football's a simple game, complicated by idiots. Like, let's remember, it's 22 players, chasing a football. You pull it on in the opposition's goal more than yours, you've won the game 9 times out of 10. And to be honest, you've kept shitter players. Like, shitter players have stayed. Like, as I'm not against, like, when you look at Tavares and Lokonga, I'm happy with them in a sense of why they're part of the squad. I understand. I don't understand what Arteta did against Brighton. And you lot know me. I love to play youth football, but young footballers and see the youth footballers and that. But in the last 7, 8, 9 games, you've seen me say things like, go for the experienced ones, man. 5 out of 10s. They might just give you 7 5 out of 10s. That might be enough to get top 4. Then maybe Lokonga, Tavares, 10 out of 10 for 2 weeks, 3 out of 10, getting hooked at halftime in 1. Them and they are still learning the game. Them and they are still getting to grips psychologically. There's been times both of them have looked sorry for themselves out there. They're not ready, I would say, in this decisive period. But at the same time, some of you sit there and say, well, why did we buy them? And you're fully right. If we've got a young squad anyways, it's almost irrelevant what that is really, because Lokonga, for example, you could argue before this season, he was more certain than Smith Rowe in terms of experience. He come to Arsenal with 70-odd games played for Anderlecht, being involved in the Belgium team on the peripheral, and obviously being captain of Anderlecht, so I get it. The problem, they're young players, but I'd say the problem for Arsenal has always been a starting 11. We've got a starting 9, assuming everything stayed like this. We need an 8 and a striker, and then we need quality in depth. I'm not saying everyone's got, we'd all love a 25-man squad of world-class quality ballers and that, but I would say that it's a bit like, again, using Liverpool as an example, there was a point where Liverpool's drop-off was kind of dead. If Trent's not playing, it's not that this guy isn't dead, but someone, all around the squad, they got some shit squad players, or they had some shit attacking squad players. I feel that's the stage we're at. There's too much of a drop-off. And again, you don't know what you're going to get, especially at this period in time. And I feel our young players have done well for us. They've overperformed for us to be in a point where we're talking about top 4 or whatever in April. Our young players have overperformed. Now I want my experienced players to just tick it through to the end. Just get it through to the end. Just throwing names out there, whether they're good or not. Xhaka, El Nene, Lacazette, Thomas Partey, who's now injured. People of that, the evident experienced players. Yes, for me, I extend the experience sort of thing to the Ramsdales, the Tierneys, etc., etc. But by then, I'm sure you get the point I'm referring to. So it's a bit of a brazy one. Interesting conversations, man. Wasn't it Arteta and Eddie who said they didn't want to sign anyone to play ahead of Partey and Xhaka? Exactly. You've made your bed, you have to lie in it. Like, facts. That's it. Whether you wanted to or not. Now, we know they tried to bring in a midfielder, but that's it. I don't know what Villarreal got or don't got, man. DG, how difficult is it to get a midfielder like Rosicky? He used to make our attack fast and direct the scouting, man. Charles, grandma just probably putting some elbow grease into her food, and well, them dons there, their grandma's probably their grandma's probably cooked some shit food as well, man. Rather than help her take her diabetic injections, you're trolling. I apologize. Denny, don't know. I just assume it's cool. No, he's in. Come on, man. Leave him alone, Yanni. Come on, bro. You get it? You get me? It's the galley thing, but man's a sex symbol still. I can't lie to you. So you get it? It's David Beckham levels. You get it? He's calm, man. But Lokonga didn't do anything wrong. When I'm talking in general, he's done bookie stuff. He didn't do anything wrong against Brighton. But that's the point. That's my point. You're throwing. As much as these players have to play well, and listen, life is ruthless. This is the reality, innit? This ain't Disney Channel. They're left to their own devices. And really, as a coach, it's for you to know when to blood them. That's what Wenger used to get very right. When to start the young players, when to play them, when not to. That's what Arteta needs to get right. Because as much as I feel Tavares was shit off his own accord at Crystal Palace, he didn't help Tavares. Xhaka is still flying forward because you've told him to do their more advanced 8. Listen, everyone's going to claim they know more than the gaffer in hindsight, but we're all looking at him thinking maybe Xhaka could have done the withdrawn thing like he used to do early in the season when Tierney was bombing forward, kind of helped Tavares out there. As I said, Lokonga, Smith Rowe, Martin Odegaard, they're all learning to be, whether Lokonga's going to be an 8 or a 6 Odegaard the same, and Smith Rowe. They're all learning their own trades. You know, when you know your own job, you can start doing others. So if they're learning their own jobs, you suddenly put them as 2 8s in Smith Rowe and Odegaard, where they don't really, they can do it in the future. Right now, it's a bit brazy, but they're learning. Lokonga, who's still learning, and he's a lone 6. These three haven't played together with each other. They barely understand their own job, let alone how it ties into them lot. You kind of throw in, on one hand, like I said, there's no excuse, because this, I like that Arteta did that, and I like the imagination behind it, and I think we can get there. But you're not helping your own players. You need to kind of know your players at times. Bro, I'd be sick of Xhaka as an Arsenal fan. All talk, no football. Very harsh, but football is harsh, isn't it? 8, 9 left back needed. Arsenal should sign free. And again, not Arteta, Edu indirectly said that in the summaries. Like, yeah, we did the youth thing this year. In the future, we might go after some other guys and whatnot. So they're looking at it, surely. Let Salsa keep developing. He's doing all right. Even that Waters brother, I think he's quite basic. I don't. If it's not Brook Norton Coffee, I don't think you're gonna rush through. But I like that Waters guy. He might be a steady Eddie, a kind of right back version of Tariq Mitchell to come through. He's playing well. He's playing well at 23s. He's making progress. Playing for England. That he's doing his thing, man. We'd all love Darwin Núñez, man. But the more he puts in performances, whether he scores offside goals or not, the more interest he's getting. And we already hear, allegedly, Arsenal are behind Chelsea, PSG, and Manchester United in the signature for Darwin. Who's winning the Champions League then? Don't know, man. Because on one hand, I think Liverpool are going to do this thing. Then I think it might be City's. Then Benzema, Ballon d'Or agenda. It might have to happen. As you know, would love Unai Emery to pull off an upset and run some agendas. DG, all that ain't necessary, bro. You are too intelligent to let these people pull you down. Oh, I know, but you know, every so often you gotta be the bad guy, bro. Like, you gotta be the bad guy, man. You ignore 100 comments, 101. I'm there, man. I know. Kevin, big up yourself, man. But to get it way before this YouTube thing, it is where it is, man. I apologize. I really do, you know. But it is what it is, man. You gotta do this thing sometimes, man. You know, every day take the high road. Sometimes you go low, let's go lower. And you know, there's a lot of people that's lives are shit. So they'll come on the net to try and ruin people's things. So I have to remind them that, listen, go and control your shit life. Please, you know, respectfully, I don't want anyone to do a Mazza, but if you want to go do a Mazza, go do a Mazza and leave us all alone, bro. The fuck? Leave us alone, man. Like, leave us alone, man. Just leave us alone. I don't bother no one. Like, I don't bother no one. I just play my little position with my little Twitch and YouTube people. So if people want to trouble me, then trouble me. But every now and again, you know, man, I have to bark back. It's one of them ones, man. It's one of them ones. I'm not. But it's not the Kumbaya thing, man. Like, it's more Malcolm X, less Martin Luther King sort of shit, man. Fire with fire, bro. Like, fire with fire. Trust, ignorant, as we say, man. Fuck all of that. You have to get ignorant, man. Not every day. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. Bro, not every day, man. But anyways, staying away from that, the way you lot say, good morning, DG. Big up my guy, Carl, man. We have given Arteta enough time to learn on the job. If at the end of the season he's still stuck in 8th grade, he has to go, bro. Just come on. You're right, though, man. It's a Granit Xhaka thing, bro. Fans are telling me to, hey, man. The worst with, you know what it is? The worst with trolls, yeah, is they will troll you, troll back, and then they might not like my levels of trolling or sending for them, and they're like, oh man, why did you say that, man? I'm a big fan of your content. I've been watching from day. Stop breading. Fuck you. Don't bread. Like, don't bread. Did you know how much I hate that? Don't bread me. Don't bread me. Like, I've got the dark arts, the Pepe, the who else is the dark art? The Savage, the Atletico Madrid. That, you get it? Like, I'm one of them. Like, please. Don't let the manners fool you, please. I can get very disrespectful, but staying on task, man. It is what it is. Have you spoke about Tomiyasu and the betting thing since it came out? He ain't played. I don't know for none of that. Listen, Tomiyasu, I like you a bit more if you try to do the betting thing, because you try to make people get paid. I can't, can't hate on that. So if that rumors are true, which I just think is a case of Arsenal fans getting 2 and 2 and getting $1 million, I don't know. but I don't know, man. There's always booky things going on in football. Why people aren't necessarily playing. Give me a straight answer. Name a team for the Champions League. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think Real Madrid, Benzema could do this thing. It might be City's time. All right, if I had to bet peas, I don't know because I'm not really giving Villarreal a chance, but I'd like them. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'd prefer an English team not to do it, but I just think Klopp, if they don't win the champs, they'll win the Prem. If they don't win the Prem, they're gonna win the champs. And then to be fair, they could do a fake treble if they don't win the major trophy, because they could. Well, if they don't win the league, because they could win the champs, the FA Cup, and the League Cup. They've already done it. It might be Pep's time, but Pep has to get past Real Madrid, who, whenever it looks like it's getting long and they're the clutches of defeat, they find a way to get out of it. Liverpool, unfortunately. You'd fit in at Atletico Charles. I mean, Gahuri could come to the club, but he's one that I would like to, we have someone else as well. I don't know if he could do it on his own, but yeah, man. Ben White gives me a bit of those dark arts vibes when needed. Don't know if anyone else in the team does that sort of thing. Partey with the Simeone training. Lacazette, that's one thing. Anytime we do the Bandulu and get away with VAR, Lacazette is involved in stuff. Like, even again, nothing happened, but Villa, Lacazette's getting pushed by McGinn and he's doing roly-polies and that. Probably the quickest you've seen Lacazette move in a hot second. But Lacazette, what was the game? Lacazette got tackled and he absolutely screamed like someone chopped off his leg. It's like, it's like, I'd say Lacazette missed the dark arts at our club. Granit Xhaka is accidental dark arts. He's not meaning to do it. Would you take Jovic at Arsenal? Well, the bar's on the floor at this moment in time. It's crazy, man. TG doing it, Xhaka. You got to, man. It's all bants, man. We're here for football. We're here for bants, but this ain't Sky Sports, man. Yeah, forgive me, but yeah, yeah, you're right, Yoni. The man said them, FUDG, suck your mum, then nah. You see me put your work in, avenge your mum, but until then, dead. Again, I said Liverpool, I might change. I don't know, bro. I don't like being put on the spot. Rather Calvert-Lewin than Jovic. I mean, 99p bargain based deals in it, like them things there. The clearance section in the supermarket, they're gonna throw away the stuff, so you might as well pattern it, man. Tony and then Nkunku. If you get Nkunku, I'd like a proper 9. If you get Tony, probably I'd like another striker, man. I think they could, I like it, but I kind of want 2 strikers in the squad, man. It's a squad game. Like, even Salah, obviously, if Salah was at Arsenal and he was doing that, he hasn't bagged, I think, since February. But that would be highlighted so much, and it's highlighted at Liverpool a lot. But then you look around the Liverpool squad, you're still doing the business. Mane's still doing the business. I don't really like relying on one done. Avenge your mum, bro. Like, as simple as that. And I come from reality. Anytime I've ever said that, I mean it. Man said Magnum Sports. It's not even been open. I come from reality. I mean that, man. Would you take Tony and David up top, DG? Seems like an achievable package. I mean, yeah, but I'll be kidding if I'll be gassed on it. I'm like, all right, cool. I can fuck with it. Jonathan David, I like him. Tony, I can fuck with it. But I don't think it's 30, though. I'm not going to lie. I don't think it's 30. Like, it's a bit booky. Like, I can't. Obviously, Aubameyang's not here, but do you know how nice it must? Like, Liverpool got their strikers. City got their players. And obviously, historically, Vardy, Kane, these lot are always there. Do you know how nice it must be? Like, in August or in January, when we had Aubameyang, you're getting X amount of goals in the league. I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't know how you're going to score, but you're going to do it. I don't feel we've got that. And especially when we've got a young squad, which is going to be volatile. Certain players have had good or bad moments. As you can know, there was a minute Martinelli couldn't get a game. Now he's the saviour. Smith Rowe's had a great season, an up and down season. Saka's had good or bad moments. You get it? I would just like a player that's a bit more... I just know sun, rain, everything. You're scoring goals, like, and even then, like, even if we sign Benzema or whoever's the top striker in the world and you slap them in Arsenal's team, I don't necessarily know they're going to score goals. And I say that because we don't create chances, fam. And a part of me, I don't know, would I rather us buy a top striker or a top midfielder? On one hand, it's a top striker because they win games. But on the other hand, you know, I would like us to be a bit like City, where there's a functional unit and you can just see, because that's what we should be at this moment in time, where you could see we just get a striker like Chelsea last year. We just grab a striker, which they didn't solve it really. We get a striker, we're lit. I don't know if that's the case. Because again, when Aubameyang was here, I always used to say it. It's remarkable that this guy has been scoring goals because he doesn't get to. We never really committed to his gameplay. I just hope that we've done our due diligence on the next striker. We know their weaknesses. We know their strengths. We know, all right, this guy's a hold-up man. Put it into his chest. You know, this guy runs in behind. This guy's a poacher. This guy, if it's not in the box, he's irrelevant. So we need to do this. I just don't want us to keep signing players, especially when we spend peas. We spent mad peas on Pepe, mad peas on Xhaka, mad peas on Lacazette, and they've all not been terrible players, but we've not got what we thought, and we've been down a long road with all of them. A long road. There's got to that can't keep going on. Like, it cannot keep happening. Benzema's different, bro, but over the course of a season, we'd be meaty, bro. It's easy when you got Toni Kroos and Modric and them man there. You can talk to Vinicius and that. Man said, "Who's your?" I don't know that, man. Hey, you're going crazy. I was for it until I saw Saka. We got, hey, broski, we got someone better than Saka. We got that Reece Nelson over here, man. He scored against you lot when we won at the Emirates, so you man have seen him. We got that Reece Nelson, man. Left wing, right wing, 10. We got the Eddie Nketiah as well. They're the youngsters Liverpool need, man. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, you've seen him score a penalty against you, man. These are the man, Nico Williams might leave. That's your man, man. We got some. You don't want Saka and Martinelli and them, man. Come on, man. You don't want them. You don't want them. Honestly, a midfield is more important than a striker. Market for strikers is pretty dead. It's dead to us because we're not scouting. But Arsenal can't accept that. Like, we can't. We need to bring in a striker now. I hope we've done our due diligence because we've been linked with strikers, quite frequently. Sup, DG, 8 games to go. How many points? How many points for what? Let me see, man. Let me see. I was having a good time. Now I want to talk about Arsenal and points and all these things. 8 games. Southampton away, Chelsea away, United at home, West Ham at home, Leeds, Spurs, Newcastle, Everton. Sorry. Oof. Fuck it. Let me be optimistic. We're gonna 3 points at Southampton. God, please allow me. 3 points at Southampton. 3 points at West Ham. That's 6. 3 points at home to Leeds. That's 9. 12, Everton. I don't necessarily believe it, but I can't say we're not going to beat Spurs. So, beat Spurs. I don't know, though, man. I'm looking at this. It's crazy, bro. I don't know what's going to happen at St. Mary's. I don't know what's going to happen midweek at Stamford Bridge. United are jammy. That's 12:30 kickoff. Say what you want about Arsenal. West Ham away is brazy. Jesse March at Leeds now, new manager bounce, going to be a very different game. Tottenham have the momentum. We beat them. They're going to want revenge. We've got a weakened squad. They've got mad signings. When was the last time we won at Spurs, let alone done the double? St. James's Park with our... I just feel nervous away from home. Anyways, Eddie Howe's going to be on crud. Everton are fighting for their lives in it, and I'm sure Frank Lampard would love to get one over us, really. So, boy, I don't know, man. I'm kind of shook still. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's scary. I said 3 points to United, 24 in it, 17 if we want top 4. Goal difference is shake. That's a myth, man. You lot making me scared, but I get so nervous. I don't know, man. I don't even want to talk about it. Let's just let's just keep lying to ourselves about transfers and just take every game as it comes, man. I don't know about none of that stuff, man. Because for me, it's not necessarily about the teams we've got to face. Big up Jay for becoming a member again. It's not necessarily the teams we've got to face, it's how we're moving. Like, and if we keep performing like this, it doesn't matter. Like, what's going on? It's quite scary, man. And then I look at my squad, not to do the criticism thing, but the young players have got us to this point. It looks like they're finally starting to show their age. The experienced ones, I don't really believe in. I don't really see a talisman. You know, I like the gaffer, but the gaffer is showing me mad naiveties and he keeps doing this when it's crunch time. Man, start doing things you don't need to do. I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to. Like, I don't know. I love my club, but I don't know what you lot are on. I really don't, and I'm somewhat doubtful because you didn't react against Brighton. I can't lie, you lost it. I had, you lot know me, I was very pessimistic on the top 4 anyways. Them man, they lost me this week. And it's not necessarily the fact that you lost to Palace or Brighton, it's how you're moving. And I can't see it getting any better. Like, I can't, you could see this was happening. This was going to come. I hope this is just the latest twist and turn to make the Amazon all or nothing doc look even more wavier, but not gonna lie, our squad is meaty when you go through it. We've been letting unbeaten runs lie to us. We've been doing that. Under Unai Emery was doing that. That's all Arsenal fans want to do. I mean, City could go to the final. It's looking like it might, but they're gonna have to, dispatch Real Madrid, and Real Madrid are gonna do the banduli. So you never know. I mean, United is the Twitter Twitter derby, isn't it? Like, I can't lie. I got so much United supporting brethren. That's a game I don't want to lose to. That's a game I don't want to lose. I'll be absolutely honest with you. I'm not really on losing to that. I'm not really on, because they don't shut up about it, bro. But I don't know. The way we're playing, I don't know, man. Haven't been in the best headspace for a couple of months, but on a real one, DG, thanks for your show. Means I don't think about other issues. Daniel, you're stronger than your situation. Trust me. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've seen the DG thoughts. I know exactly how it feels to not feel yourself, to not be in the right headspace. And the harshest thing, this is why you keep hearing me say the harshest thing about the world is it keeps going, in it. Like, you're stronger than you know, bro. The very fact that you're up every day, you're winning, in it. Tough times never last, man. Come on, man. Big up yourself. Big up anyone going through anything. Hope you lot get through it, man. And this is why I always say what I say. I hope you're doing well mentally, spiritually, physically, by God's grace, financially as well. All those sort of things. Ronaldo hat trick. If Spurs win, you know how Spurs and United fans are. Spurs, Chester United, man. Them man are in bed with each other more time, really. Always twerking for each other. Always. But anyways, let's get into this transfer news. Keep your opinions coming, people. We're just chatting too much, innit? I'm enjoying this conversation with you as I do, but I'm well aware that I'm doing whatever. Trevor, I love you, my guy, but I'm smelling cap. Being real, we are overachieving this season with our squad, just in terms of sheer quality. Leicester has a better squad. I'm whispering that, though. I hear it, but it's their manager's thing, bro. Spurs got Brentford, Leicester, Liverpool, and Arsenal in a row. Why do people think that's easy? It's not, but bro, the man there got talisman in it. Kane's found his shooting boots. Son moving mad. Kulusevski, Bensko added something. Romero's fit. They're doing their thing. It seems like people are listening to Conte. I can't lie. I never praise injuries or want anyone to get injured, but I actually need a Bentancur injury for Spurs to go down the toilet. There needs to be that Bentancur injury. Once Spurs' midfield is collapsed, we have half a chance. And that's like us. It's not that I don't believe in anyone. I believe in the young tugs, but it's not fair. Like, for me, Smith Rowe, Saka, Martinelli, you man have got us to, and others, of course, you man have got us to this point. Now I want the experienced players to pattern it. Lacazette, bare hours without a goal. Granit Xhaka, not really doing bad, but not really someone you necessarily have faith in. You know, Partey irrelevant because he's gone now. You know, Cedric, you're doing all right, but you've been here for a minute. This is it. We just have to hope something can happen, man. So I don't know, but let's get into some transfer news, people. Where do we start? Don't forget 7:30 on Twitch, folks. We're going to be doing a watch along. Let's start here, man. Napoli unlikely to sell Arsenal-linked Victor Osimhen for under 100 million. Napoli will do everything in their hand to keep Victor Osimhen at Naples for next season. In a report from La Gazzetta dello Sport, it has been reiterated that Napoli will only consider sacrificing Victor Osimhen if the buyer's offer is an amount of more than 100 million euros for the Nigerian sensation next summer. Pardon me. There have been loads of transfer rumours around the 23-year-old this season, with top clubs like United, Manchester United and Arsenal believed to be favourites for the services of the sharpshooter ahead of the summer transfer window. Both teams need a striker. Osimhen obviously joined from Lille for 80 million euros, so they're going to want their bread back. Over the last 2 years, at the time of seeing this article, 26 goals in 56 appearances, people. Yeah, make sure you're supporting the thing on Twitch as well. One love to the Twitch guys. I love it looks. Nan said Osimhen has always been a myth. Trust. But man can hope, innit? I'm on this daily Doosan vibe now, man. I mean, daily Darwin. Daily Doosan was one for the ages. Shout to everyone that was there. Staying with Osimhen, club president in strong stance on red hot striker amid Arsenal and Newcastle approaches. Arsenal and Newcastle United are keen on Napoli striker Victor Osimhen, but it sounds like he won't be allowed to leave the Italian club this summer. That's according to this. And again, what has actually been said? So I don't think that. I mean, I think we got done by a clickbait article here because I mean we know about what his agent has said. I thought this would have meant the president would have said something. But anyways, I might as well read it, people. So it's not in vain. Apparently, his agent said the boy is focused. He wants to win, and we have all seen his attachment to the team, how to throw each ball. Now he plays in a strong team. Newspapers readily need to be filled in and written. Even those who don't know football would probably do Osimhen's if asked for the names of strikers. Victor is a football player for Napoli, and there are now 7 finals. The important focus is on this season, which is true. It's not, transfers will take heed of things. It is what it is in that regards. Let me refresh this page now. Again, in the last 24 hours, it feels like Inter Milan are selling everybody. They want Dybala. There's talk of selling De Vrij. Is it De Vrij? Can I say his name properly? De Vrij, Bastoni, who I would take, Skriniar, Lautaro Martinez, and there's one more player I'm missing. Appreciate the belated happy birthday messages, bro. Ronaldo's costing at least £1 billion in it. Ronaldo Lima. For what it's worth, Inter help in Madrid to sell Lautaro. Dybala awaits. Google Translate, don't forget, people. So yeah, this is basically gone on to say that they need to sell before they can buy. There's talk of bringing in Lukaku. They want Bremer allegedly. Again, Google Translate, forgive me if none of this makes sense. This time, the player who can allow Inter to unlock the market is Lautaro Martinez. Should an offer for Lautaro arrive, which has long been on Atletico Madrid's radar, who apparently at one point were the front runners for Darwin Núñez, it would be impossible to refuse it. The substitute has been identified for some time and responds to the, I don't know what that is, of Dybala, who would then arrive for free. So yeah, apparently the same goes for Bastoni, Skriniar, and De Vrij, whose contracts are expiring in 2023. They're going to have to make a decision. So I would be a big fan of Lautaro Martinez. I would love Núñez first, but Martinez could sign if we're going to grab him, which probably won't be the case. This is irrelevant in relation to Saliba. Let's delete that. Let's get rid of that. Arsenal receive sharp no from ex-Chelsea star over transfer. I'm sure a lot of people are probably excited to hear Morata has turned down that chance of signing people. Apparently, they contacted Atletico Madrid, who technically own him, about a potential move for the 29-year-old, but he has no interest in moving to Arsenal and to return to London, where he's in the dark throughout his time at Chelsea. And I'm sure many Arsenal fans might have been desperate to grab you in Jan, but yeah, man, I don't think he'd be needed. So, yeah, well, I wouldn't say needed, but they wouldn't want you in it. So it is what it is. Arsenal in battle with Newcastle to sign Lyon's Lucas Paqueta, people. Arsenal will try to fend off competition from Newcastle United this summer in the battle to sign a midfielder Lucas Paqueta from Lyon. He's said to be available at the end of the season, despite his contract not running out until 2025. Arsenal will allegedly make a move for him and will join in Newcastle in that pursuit. He's got 19 goals in 74. Probably not what we need in terms of fixing the priorities, but he can play in midfield. He can play out wide. He's a lovely player, really. We'll get fans off seats. So I'm all for Paqueta, but can we get a striker or a number 8? Big up Kevin Campbell. Probably a myth. What is this? What's going on here? Apparently, speaking earlier this month, Arteta confirmed the aims to improve the squad in the summer. He said, I am expecting it so. I think both competitions require a much larger squad because of the amount of games you play is much bigger in both. He's referring to the Champs and Europa League. So I don't think it makes a lot of difference or changes a lot. If you can financially afford it and we don't have to do the turnaround in the squad that we've had to do, if you ask me what I want, is 22 outfield players and 3 goalkeepers. So he hasn't got that, respectfully. There's been a lot of Haaland boys on the bench. None of them have really, it's not really because they're not doing well, but it's by force, in it, really and truly. So it is what it is, man. I mean, I hear that. So yeah, there's that. Apparently, Romano claims 66 million Arsenal target is going. Edu's allegedly in talks. Just seeing Darwin Núñez. Apparently, reports in Portugal reported last month that the North Londoners have already opened talks. And apparently, Fabrizio Romano has an uplifting development for the Emirates Stadium outfit. According to the Italian journalist, Núñez is definitely leaving Benfica this summer and for a region of 66 million. Darwin Núñez will leave Benfica in the summer, fee around 80 million. His new agent will now meet with many top teams to explore opportunities. So Arsenal, sell whatever dream you've got to do, give him whatever he needs and get that one done, people, really and truly, if I'm completely honest. Allegedly, Gabriel has poured cold water, at least for now, on joining Barcelona, people. He said he's very happy and feels at home at Arsenal Football Club, and there's talk of him allegedly getting a new deal. He's given the club a boost by insisting he feels at home in North London. Barcelona is Barcelona. If they really want you, you can go in it because it's Barca in it. Certain clubs you can't say no to. Football.London reported that the club are not expected to entertain any offers for the centre-back, who has an outside chance of being the club's next permanent captain. And the Brazilian who joined in 2020 insists MIKEL Arteta's squad is great to be part of. He told Premier League Productions, well, in my first season, I certainly learned a lot. It's been a real challenge here, and I am more and more settled every day. I feel better and better with each passing game. At the same time, we know we all can't be perfect in every match. We do make mistakes, but I feel good. I feel at home at Arsenal. It's a great squad to be part of, and together, I'm sure we can achieve a lot. I'm very happy here. Fair enough. Lovely to see and hear, really. And he said, reaching the top 4 is our aim, but we know how tough it will be. It's a big challenge, but I do believe we can get there. We are working hard, and it's the target we all want to achieve. We have to stick together. We need to remain focused to get good results, people. So that's what Gabriel has said. He's not actually said no to anything, but yeah. Arsenal must now pay 58 million if they want to sign record-breaking striker. We heard we're not really in there for Patrick Schick, so I'm not, Dylan's chatting shit. What one is this? We've already done that. What is this? Arsenal to ignore one Man United flop and sign another one. Fuck. Well, that one just looks like we're going for Depay. There's no way I'm signing up to this, people. So yeah, just reiterating that we're looking at Memphis Depay. What's all of this? What's Emery said? Fuck what Emery said, to be fair with you. Arsenal considering loan with permanent transfer option, but have doubts over the player. I mean, how long are we going to get linked with Luka Jovic, man? Considering our previous deals, getting Ceballos on loan twice and Odegaard, you'd imagine that if we really wanted you, you could have been got a bit like Ronaldo Sanchez at Lille through the same logic. Arsenal are reported, I don't mind you in the squad as part with another player, like someone that's going to do the job, but Arsenal are reportedly considering a summer transfer window deal for Real Madrid striker Luka Jovic. He is set to be targeted on loan by the Gunners, who also consider having a permanent transfer option as part of the deal, according to this publication. We all know he struggled at Real Madrid. Apparently, Arsenal have mentality, man. He does seem like a bit of a naughty boy. You've seen the whole COVID issues, and it just seems like he's got a problem with discipline more than anything. You're going to have a problem with MIKEL Arteta, who seems to be a stickler for all of that stuff. So yeah, it's a brazy one. What else have we got here? That's a think piece I was reading. We've already been linked with Paqueta. Arsenal plotting 16.6 Karim Aktogolu link. And obviously a bid. We've been linked with the Galatasaray winger before. You know, we've done a couple of watch-alongs for Galatasaray in the Europa League, and we've got to see the 23-year-old. He looks quite decent. You know, we probably will see a winger leave our club, probably Pepe. But I don't know what to believe with that, man. We were never getting nice by Napoli. They're notorious for this. Facts, they were never going to get Napoli on death row thing. You know they were never going to do that for us, man. 2 losses. Oh, sorry, let me... Just for the people that are watching this on a replay, let's cut that. So that was at 1:15:20. That's the transfer news. 2 losses, a tough pill to swallow, but a good reality check for the players and fans. Would be great to finish 4th, but I think we all know it's an overachievement. Top 6 is a solid year for us. I wouldn't say overachievement, but it would be punching. Because what have you achieved? You finished 4th. Like, I hear you, but I unpopular opinion, Arsenal should always be trying to get 4th. And the last couple of years, Arsenal haven't missed out on top 4 because teams are massively better than us. We've just fucked up when we've managed to fuck up more than them. So I don't quite agree with this overachievement thing, even though I agree with it and understand it. I just think the wording could be better. Not you necessarily, just all of our wording. But yeah, top 6 was probably the aim. But how far does that go, man? The manager's tactics are a disgrace. He keeps persevering, with predictable football. Only takes a manager to watch some tapes and they've figured us out. Crazy. We probs don't even have a top 6 squad. United, Chelsea, City, Liverpool, West Ham, Leicester, and Spurs is debatable. Respectfully, we all knew this, man. I don't know what the manager plays. I would say it's a possession-based style of football, but it's not what I would call as that. If we had our starting 11, I'll be confident. But with these injuries, I don't know. And Noah, that's it. Wouldn't be shocked if we lost like 6 of those, but we could win all of them barring Chelsea as well. And that's the crazy thing about Arsenal, man. Such a mixed bag. You never quite know which one is going to turn up, man. No Jovic for me, damaged goods. This summer window will just be another link players and no transfer to show for it. To be fair, we're going to sign. I don't know whether they'll be good enough, but you'd imagine we are going to sign some players in the summer, man. A bit more optimism than that, fella. Come on, you're better than that. You're better than that. You're better than that. Should we have one last scan? I would call it. Let's see what else is popping in the world of Arsenal. Let me change Google Sheet to an hour. Apparently, Lacazette was absent from training, people. I don't know if that's anything to read. And I need to upload all my other clips as well, people, man. Like, big up Jess from She Knows Arsenal. I had her a couple of days ago. Was it Monday or Tuesday? I still ain't pressed the upload button. So, yeah, you'll see a couple of clips come up in that. But on that, though, people, I'm going to end this now. I would take the pay, you know, for the squad. I'm going to end this now. I'm live with Rants at 1. I'm back again at, I was about to say 7:30. 10 past 5 UK time. Is it? Yeah, 10 past 5 UK time. That's to watch the Europa League. So there's 2 Europa League matches. We're going to watch that. Saturday, there'll be a watch-along. Hella content to come. Appreciative to you lot on Twitch and YouTube for supporting the team. Come on, man. Come on. On that note, though, I'm going to be late, so let me get out of it. Peace. God bless you all. Stay safe. You know, again, most importantly, stay safe. Stay healthy. It's Thursday. Let's all have a big push and end this week strongly, moving that much closer to our goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, and aspirations. One love to all of you lot who support the thing across Twitch and YouTube. Make sure you're following on either. One love to the haters too, because without you lot, it wouldn't be amazing, man. And one love to your baby mothers and fat grandmas, all them things there, man. Yeah. But anyways, on that, safe.
There's always that active red flag defending. I think it's like